Hi Habs fans, me again, Tyson from Dolany TV. We met earlier this year in the summer when I said some stuff about Brendan Gallagher that at the time I believed was true. Turns out when you read two mean tweets about Brendan Gallagher and don't scroll down any further, you're going to read some misinformation from some very upset, very deranged Habs fans. And you put out a video with an idea that Brendan Gallagher may have at times fallen out with Montreal Canadiens fans. And you put that video out and you push that myth, and you get served. You get it served back to you, and you get it handed to you pretty heavily. So with that, I just wanted to apologize because I felt today's video, as you already told by the title, was probably the due time for an apology on that front. With that said, I have now come to the recognition, the returned idea, that Brendan Gallagher is a fan favorite. But, again, with that said, I'm going to discuss maybe bringing back the Edmonton boy back home to the Edmonton Oilers. Because, you know what, I've had this sneaky, weird kind of trend. If you're a Montreal Canadiens fan, I really welcome you to go back through my videos, all my trade discussions, trade topics, and anything and everything Edmonton Oilers. But if you're returning to Dolany TV, and you're one of the subscribers, and you've been here, and you've been on this journey that is the 2019-2020 NHL season here on my channel and here in real life with the Edmonton Oilers, you would happen to know I've done the Hall trade, right? That multiple times I've discussed that. I discussed a Kreider trade, and I've discussed a Pajot trade, all three of which were heavily discussed today, December 3rd, on Oilers Now between Bob Stauffer and Mr. Mark Spector. Not saying, hey, I had it before them, because they probably have talked about it before. This is just the first time they've all talked about it and lumped it all together, and it just so happens that everything they lumped together I've already discussed. That's what I'm saying, a weird anomaly. But that said, I don't know if I'm battling a runny nose or I'm getting sick here. Don't worry about me if I start saying clowny things. But okay, you know what? Okay, let's get back to the Habs fans for a second, because I'm here to discuss that said trade. And in the summer, I wasn't really willing to give too much up, right? I wasn't willing to go out there and give you a full package. Obviously, my main priority for it was the number 8 overall pick, in which, guys, you could get a phenomenal player with that pick. Life was good. Should have been a good deal. If I would have offered a little bit more, if I would have known this Jesse Puljujarvi mess was going to drag on this long, I should have offered over the 8th overall pick in Jesse Puljujarvi, and we shouldn't have had that straight up, because these are the trades I offered. And they're laughable at best, okay? This is, you know what, this was Summer Tyson working some summer content and thinking that 8th overall pick was real friggin' special, okay? I thought it was really friggin' special. Clearly, it was not. I think the most accurate trade is Russell Benning and the 8th overall for Gallagher, because at that point I thought, you know what, you need defense. That said, that is not where we are going today. We are going to go for the file. That file in my computer is named Gallagher Trades, just straight up. Now what we're going to click on here in the Dolany TV file management system is Gallagher Trades 2. And you're going to see just one trade pop up on here, and we're going to discuss it. I'm willing, as I said, I should have had Jesse Puljujarvi's rights in there at first, the first round pick, and Sam Gagner. That's my package. This is my return, come around, talk to Habs fans, talk to Oilers fans, because guys, this is a good time to do it. Because I understand, yes, things aren't going very well in Montreal. Not at all. You know what? 8-game losing streak. I'm picking on the losers, that kind of thing. I understand where you're going to go with this line of thought. But the other line of thought I'm going to go with is I'm going to plead to Habs fans' sanity. And knowing that we're in a Canadian market, Oilers are, Habs are, we have very little sanity, okay? I'm an Oilers fan. I'm going to tell you straight up, I'm not sane. I'm not. I'm crazy as crazy gets. And that's not just hockey-wise, that's in real life. So forgive me if I state maybe the obvious. But you know what? The Montreal Canadiens falling heavy in the standings. I know last I saw tonight they were winning. In fact, you know what? I'll check right now. I like scrambling myself up. I'll check right now for you, because this would be a really good goal is right here. Let's go over and Habs game. Just type that into Google and I shall get something. They're up 3-1 on the New York Islanders. Barring a monumental collapse or an overtime loss, the Montreal Canadiens have snapped their losing streak. So that's fantastic. But now I probably cursed it. The Montreal Canadiens, actually, wait, they won one? I thought they had lost, unless they lost one in overtime. I think that's what it was. Because if you go to Sportsnet, it's a whole different story if I'm not mistaken. Let me get over there. Sportsnet standings and the Montreal Canadiens where, yeah, so on that 8-game losing streak. So, you know what? Now let's discuss why I think that 8-game losing streak matters. Is because Brendan Gallagher has $3.75 million on his contract for this year and next year, okay? This is me logicking it out with you, the fans of the Oilers, the fans of the Habs, is what it is. But plead with me here. As Montreal Canadiens fans, if that's who you are tuning into this and you've actually been able to stomach listening to my idiocy for the past 6 minutes, is the fact that you're going to lose him if this keeps up. I mean, yeah, you know what? Brendan Gallagher bleeds Montreal Canadiens and stuff like that, but just, I don't know. It comes a point, right? It's the same thing as the Taylor Hall episode in New Jersey. If this goes on this year, the whole year for Brendan Gallagher, and then next year as well, what happens to Brendan Gallagher? And I'm not trying to sit here and stir the pot and cause trouble where trouble doesn't need to be caused, because you know what? I'm just trying to be realistic. It's a situation that by that point at 28, 29, Brendan Gallagher will really have to ask some serious questions about where he wants the rest of his career to go. And you know what? If Montreal doesn't have poop in the group and ready to go, that's a tough sell. That's a 100% tough sell. And at that same point, that's why I'm pleading to Montreal Canadiens fans here for the sanity, is because your heartstrings are attached to this guy. I understand that 100%. So with that said, look at it this way. Would you rather have what's happening in New Jersey with Taylor Hall, all the trade speculation, all the awful things happening to the team, being said, right? All these trade rumors, not knowing what's going on, your coach getting fired. Would you have that going through your favorite guy, right? Your fan favorite, the guy, the heart and soul of your team. Do you want to see him in that situation? Or would you prefer to see him go somewhere safe, right? Edmonton's home. Edmonton is home for Brendan Gallagher. This is not like I'm pleading for him to go to, I don't know, Timbuktu, La La Land. I don't know. Like, I'm not asking him to go to Anaheim here or Toronto. Okay, I'm not asking him to go to Toronto either. But you know what? For a hometown kid, you know what? He'd be looked after. He'd be the same thing he is in Montreal, in Edmonton, and we're not Toronto. You can like us. Okay, that's my plead. Now for Brendan Gallagher plus a conditional 4th round pick, you know what? Condition, depending on what Sam Gagner does, I don't know. The condition just has to be there because I'd like a 3rd round pick realistically, but maybe asking for a 3rd round pick straight up is too much for said package. Now if I want to ask for that 3rd round pick, I'm probably telling you Jesse Puljujarvi, a 1st round pick, and Tyler Benson. I understand that. You know what? And that's a tough go for me. I don't want to give up Tyler Benson, Cooper Marody, Kailer Yamamoto. I do prefer trading Kailer Yamamoto over Jesse Puljujarvi prior to the Jesse Puljujarvi mess, but now here we are with that mess, and it is what it is. But Sam Gagner, I feel, is NHL caliber to help now, and we need to get rid of the cap space. So no matter what, no matter who else I add, Sam Gagner's got to go in the trade. That's from an Edmonton Oilers perspective. No matter what, for a Brendan Gallagher trade, Sam Gagner's got to go. I'd offer Adam Larsson, but you guys have good defense. I checked, the stats are fine. So, with that said, is it Sam Gagner, Jesse Puljujarvi, and a 1st round pick good enough? You tell me. Because if that 1st round pick is 26th overall, probably not. But if it's worse, or worse, better, you know what I mean? Probably. But that's where Tyler Benson, Kailer Yamamoto, Cooper Marody, guys like that caliber come into this question to ask, well, if you do a Kailer Yamamoto, do you then do Brendan Gallagher in a 2nd straight up for Jesse Puljujarvi, a 1st, and Yamamoto and Gagner? Now we're talking a complicated big package that probably doesn't happen. But keep it small scale here. Is this enough for you guys as Montreal Canadiens fans to part with the heart and soul, to move on to better horizons, right? Hopefully get Jesse Puljujarvi in there with Kotkaniemi, get that first round pick, and start the rebuild you desperately need based on how this season's starting to trend. Now, of course, I'm playing to fear that it's going to continue. It may not, right? This win against the Islanders, if it happens tonight, suddenly might change everything, and the Montreal Canadiens are second seed in the Atlantic Division by the end of the year. You know what? I just don't know. I don't know. I've been wrong before. If you tuned into that first video, you know I've been wrong before. But let's just play it out here. Now, the other side too is I have to plead to my Edmonton Oilers fans here that are subscribed, that return to every video. I'm really dying. That's not good. I hope I'm not sick. And I have to ask, is this what you'd be willing to part with for a guy capable of bringing what Brendan Gallagher brings? And would you be willing to part with more to secure him and a little bit better return? Well, that's the question. Realistically, what is it going to take to make a swap happen? That satisfies both sides. Obviously, I don't think any team, any trade happens with the Montreal Canadiens for Brendan Gallagher unless both teams are highly satisfied with what they're getting. And the reason Jesse Puljujarvi in a first round pick makes sense to me and said go is the fact that, well, you know what? You trade Jesse Puljujarvi, you get that first round pick. Those are players for next year. Solve next year's problems, right? Because if this year is going to be a write-off, and I'm not saying do this trade today, do this trade tomorrow. This could be end of January or the deadline, whatever it is, because Brendan Gallagher does solve a problem for the Oilers on that second line. Let's not kid ourselves. Okay, that is wow. Get that player of that caliber. Woo! Wow. Okay, we're good. We're winning the playoffs, but right? Like, let's not pretend this has to happen tomorrow. This isn't. If I wanted this to happen tomorrow, there'd have to be a lot more. Okay, I understand that. But the long game, short end of the stick is if this continues in Montreal, it's going to get worse, and I don't want to see this go through for Habs fans, and I'd prefer if we have a chance as Oilers fans and as an Oilers management unit to bring in a guy that gets the job done and is a hometown boy and can be heart and soul like Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, but he's the hometown kid. Why not? And especially, you know what? You give up Jesse Puljujarvi, you give up that first round pick. It's not asking too much. Guys, what do you think? I think I've explained myself a lot better than last time. I think I've made myself a lot more clear than last time. And I think I've made the apology pretty clear that I do feel bad about that. That was inexcusable at best. Mark Spector was apologizing on Oilers Now. I think it's my turn. Really, make sure I clear that one up. I didn't mean offense by that. Thank you for taking me to task for it. And I appreciate if you return to this video and discussed it with me again today. Guys, I'm Tyson. This is Stolen TV. Does it make sense? Doesn't it? Let me get at you in the comments section down below. I will catch you in the next one.